stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. You're gonna need to give me about 5 seconds here. I need to grab something. Whew. My tummy is not happy with what I ate yesterday. I ate a lot of grease. Oops. And so I have my emergency Zofran. Probably the best med ever made. No, it is not narcotic. Yes, it is a Western medicine. I'm not huge on Western medicine myself. But I know Zofran helps my stomach. So felt like I was getting a little pukey there. I can tell you the cats heard that. They're going to come. Window's not open, dude. You're hearing things. It's kind of chilly out, but that breeze feels nice. Cool May breeze. Good morning, Michelle. Good to see you. So this week, is he in the window yet? Yep, there he is. How much is that kitty in the window? What you doing? Yeah, you're Mr. Lovey today, huh? He's Mr. Lovey today. Yes, you are. I don't want your wet nose in my mouth, though. Because who knows where that's been? Who knows where that nose has been? All right. And when I pet him, he gets all excited. Gets all excited. Oh, yes, you're a good kitty. He was the runt of the litter. I always pick the male runt of the litter when I choose kitty cats. But it's going to be a long time before I pick out kitty cat again. Because I will have most of the cats that I have 4 down here. 3 of them will be around for at least 10 more years. So it's going to be a while before I have another kitty cat that's new to me. But welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. You know, wish I'd come up with a good tagline to start things, but it's been a while. I always end the same. I always end the same when I speak too. When I speak at meetings, I say, that's all. I say, I love you, and that's all I got. But if you're here, please say hello. Watching live, watching the rewatch, watching the live and the rewatch. Please say hi. Just keep track of certain things, but I really don't even know how many people follow me. I didn't have a problem with something over the weekend. Not a huge problem, but people assume that I get mad. And it has to do with my voice. People tend to assume that I get mad, and I get mad real easy. And I'm going to tell you something. Nothing pisses me off quicker than telling me how I feel. You do not. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what that is. And it's not being done on purpose, but it's gaslighting. When you determine somebody else's feelings, it's gaslighting. Oh, you're mad. Oh, I ain't mad yet. You want to see mad? I'm going to show you mad. All right. I just get pissed because I've worked on it really, really hard. And people are like, you're angry. And I'm like, I don't feel angry. And they assume it. And then it turns into name calling. You know what I do when I'm mad? I tell people I'm mad. Right? How many times have I come on here and said, I feel like Grumpy Cat today? You know, I understand my feelings better than anybody else. I've worked on my feelings. I've worked inside. I've done more work than most people in this world. I've had to if I wanted to live any kind of life, right? If I wanted to be happy, if I wanted to be free. Freedom. Why is Amber not here? I mean, it's her lunch break. All right. Let's get started. We're going to be on the big book today. I took this from As Bill Sees It, but we're going to be on 153 or 151 and then 133. So we're going to be doing a little bit. We're going to be doing a little bit of moving around in the book here. All right. Oh. Now we got two cats in the window. Oh, kittens. Kittens. Yep. Let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. Got it. Turned out all right. You probably can't see it though. Woo. All right, let's get started. Also, Adams County jury. I missed jury duty. Okay, all right. I'm not trying to get out of jury duty. I actually don't mind jury duty. I like going to court when it's not about me. Right? But I can't sit there. I just can't sit there. It's hard. So I need a doctor's note. But all right. Let's get started. Good morning, Claire. Good to see you. We're going to start on page 151, which is the beginning of a vision for you. But the topic is happy when we are free. So for most normal folk, yeah, we know better than things being normal now, don't we? Drinking means conviviality, companionship, and colorful imagination. It means release from care, boredom, and worry. It is the joyous intimacy with friends and a feeling that life is good. But not so for those in those last days of heavy drinking. The old pleasures were gone. They were but memories. I'm going to tell you something. This part didn't last very long for me. It did not. I can think of, a few times when I went out friends and there was from care, boredom, and worry. But usually, even in those situations, I was usually working. Right? Free doll hairs, $3. Right? So I did have some, but there's one instance that I can remember. And it was my very first time that I got drunk with other people. First time I started drinking, I didn't even really get drunk. I just had a couple beers each night. I was 13. Should have gotten me drunk, but I'm an alcoholic, and alcoholics have a high tolerance to alcohol from the beginning, right? So the one time that I remember was the first time I drank with other people, and I finally became accepted. That was it. And I would chase that drunk for the rest of my drinking career. That's what I would chase, that feeling again. Never, ever, ever, ever to find it again with alcohol. I did find it again, though. I did find it. Talks about let's just flip over to doctor's opinion, right? So I'm gonna go there for a second. I told you I was going to do some skipping around. Men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. Now, what happens is when I drink, it goes to the reward center. So whether I did something good or bad, it doesn't matter. I think I am being rewarded for it. Right? The sensation is so elusive that while they admit it is injurious, they cannot, after a time, differentiate the true from the false. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. And here's the line. They're irritable and discontented unless they can again experience a sense of ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks. Drinks they see others taking with impunity. Okay? Impunity means no consequence. Because for them, one or two, even one does it. But for me, there's not enough alcohol in the world anymore to give me that ease and comfort. No, it exacerbates everything bad for me now. But I have found the ease and comfort. It's called delayed gratification in God. I don't need things in my time anymore. And that is the freedom. I have a freedom from the obsession of alcohol. I have a freedom from my own mind, from my own brain. Right? There was an insistent yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and the heartbreaking obsession that some new miracle control would enable us to do it. There was always one more attempt and one more failure. Now, I do understand it, but I did not go through this because I always knew I was an alcoholic. I never, not once did I make a decision to control my alcohol, my drinking consumption. Never. So I didn't go through this part. Did I have an insistent yearning to live life as I once did? Not really, because my childhood sucked. So I didn't have that insistent yearning. Didn't suck. There were some good parts. Absolutely there were. Okay. All right. But I understand it. My alcoholic brain understands why you would want to do that. I wasn't trying to control my drinking. I was just trying to fucking fit in. And at least being an alcoholic, I was something. At least with that, I was something and I understood it. Right? That I get. I don't think that we were really trying to control our drinking. I think we were just trying to fit in. We were trying to become, we wanted to be useful members of society, but I could not function without alcohol. And alcohol took away all that usefulness. The less people tolerated us, the more we withdrew from society, from life itself. We became subjects of King Alcohol, shivering denizens of his mad realm, the chilling vapor that his loneliness settled down. It always comes. King Alcohol. It thickened, ever becoming blacker. Some of us sought out sordid places, hoping for understanding, companionship, and approval. How many of us alcoholics love dive bars? Eventually, alcoholics in their last stages, they're no longer at the clubs. They're not out there dancing. No, we like our musty, 5 songs on the fucking jukebox, run down, rat infested dive bars. I loved dive bars. Loved them because I belonged. Because I belong there. I fit in there. Go to a bar, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, bar's half full. Oh, my kind of bar. It's 5 o'clock. When they got signs up on the wall, it says 5 o'clock somewhere, my kind of bar, man. but I fit in. At least I fit in for the moment. All right. So we're hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. Momentarily, we did. Worked for a little bit. Honestly, I stopped drinking at bars because I just couldn't afford it anymore. Momentarily, we did. Then would come oblivion and the awful awakening to face the hideous four horsemen: terror, bewilderment, frustration, despair. Unhappy drinkers who read this page will understand. Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay. These four horsemen were my friends. These were the friends that I had. They were good friends of King Alcohol. We got along so well, they gave me a fucking horse and we went riding. That right there did not scare me. In fact, I welcomed them because once again, at least I belonged. We're the kind of people that get a horse, we ride to the ninth plane of hell, and we knock on the gates of hell going, hey, why is this closed? We're riding through right now. That's an alcoholic. Now and then, a serious drinker being dry at the moment says, I don't miss it at all. Feel better, work better, having a better time. As ex-problem drinkers, we laugh at such a sally. There were a lot of them this year. All right, so this is how it works. We get a lot of people in January and February. A lot of DUIs, New Year's resolutions. Do you know what holiday destroys more alcoholics? You're going to be surprised, but go to your meetings and I bet there's people missing from the last 2 weeks. Mother's Day. It's one of the biggest relapse days. Why? Because it's warm, it's nice, people are having fun, conviviality. It isn't because it's Mother's Day. It is because it is set up. And it's about the 5th month. That means that you are going to start feeling better. You will feel a lot better by the, oh, I can have one drink. It's Mother's Day. Lurking notion. Maybe it's a trigger. And it's the first major holiday that they're going to go through sober, and they don't make it. Yeah. About half the people are gone. I am kind of watching a little bit in grassroots. There's a lot of people that haven't come. They're not back. All right. We know our friend is like a boy whistling in the dark, trying to keep his spirits. He fools himself inwardly. He would give anything to take half a dozen drinkers, half a dozen drinks and get away with them. He will presently try the old game again, for he isn't happy about his sobriety. He cannot picture life without alcohol. Someday he will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping off place. He will wish for the end. Wishing for the end is suicide. That I understand. Now, let me tell you something. That part right there is not a requirement to get sober. You do not need to get to that point in order to get sober if you don't want to. Not required. You don't need to get to the point where where your loneliness is like few others. You don't need that. It's part of why I do what I do. When I got up in the morning, if I didn't put alcohol in me, I'd be dead. I was jaundiced. I was looking at a liver transplant. I was dying in front of my wife and kids. Literally wasting away in front of their eyes. Yeah. So it's not required. You don't need to get to that place. All right. We have shown you how we got from under. You say, yes, I'm willing, but I can be consigned to a life where I shall be stupid, boring, and glum like some righteous people I see. I know I must get along without liquor, but how can I? Have you a sufficient substitute? Now, here we're not really keeping an open mind, are we? Oh, those righteous folk, they're, there's a line from a Billy Joel song, and it's, I'd rather laugh with the sinners than die with the saints. The sinners are much more fun. He's speaking my language. Why are we so fun? We do. Alcoholics Anonymous is a blast sometimes because we're ex-sinners and we can laugh at that now. We know what it means to be on both sides. We do. Okay, cool, huh? Rather laugh with the sinners and die with the saints. The sinners are much more fun. So come on, Virginia. Any more, it'll cut me. So I had to do the fade out. So it's called Only the Good Die Young. And it's true. Only the good die young. Have you a sufficient substitute? Yes, we do. And it's vastly more than that. It is the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. Not everybody gets it. Some people leave. They think it's not for them. They think, right? There, you will find release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. I wish some other people's imaginations would be fired. I've been talking to this guy. He runs the Night Watch group, which is our 12th step, right? And it took him 2 weeks. I'm like, can you spend 10 minutes with me because I have some questions to ask. I even asked some of them right then and there. And he gave me the most lackadaisical answer I probably could have gotten. What he said was, we will be having Night Watch workshop on June 7th. I don't need a workshop, dude. I've been 12 stepping for a very, very long time. I don't need a workshop. I just need to know how it works. Right. So he's like, but you can go there on Saturday. I'd love to talk to you with you then. No, come get some free donuts and coffee. It's clear on the other side. And I'm busy Saturday mornings, man. So I said, is there a Zoom option? Because if there's not a Zoom option, then what the fuck are you doing? And I can tell you now, there isn't one. So the way that they're doing that is they're denying themselves. It tells me something is up. Something is amiss. I'm not even going to try and guess what it is. Because, life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Thus, we find the fellowship, and so will you. Now we're going to go to page 133. And go back a little bit. We're going to go to page 133 in the big book. Where are we trying to get to here? Okay. So we're going to start on the middle of page 132 is where we're going to start on this one. We have been speaking to you of serious, sometimes tragic things. It's tough. There's a lot of tragedy in AA. People that we wish would make it, and they just... I don't know how many people have told me they're going to go to the grassroots meeting, and I just never hear from them again. I'm used to it, though. It's always kind of been like that. But the point is that I gave them the invite. That's all that matters. I can't do anything beyond that. All right. So we have been dealing with alcohol in its worst aspects, but we are not a glum lot. If newcomers could see no joy or fun in our existence, they wouldn't want it. We absolutely insist on enjoying life. I finally got to do that with my family yesterday. That's why I brought all my kids and my grandkids. We had a blast. They had a blast. The cousins were just out there playing tag, and they're all my grandkids, but they're cousins, right? It's kind of neat to be the father figure in all of that. Nobody had time to argue or do anything else because the kids were having too much fun and people were enjoying it. I watched the whole family dynamic change yesterday. I watched it move. And that's awesome. Claire says, truth, that is why we must keep in fit spiritual condition, not self-righteously, kindly, compassionately. Yeah. I don't think God wants us to be miserable, any of us. But I found that my misery is usually 99.9999% of the time it is self-manufactured. I tend to create my own misery. Oh, but they did that to me. Yeah. And you want to be miserable over it. Well, it's kind of a reaction thing for me, but I'm staying in it less and less and less and less and less time. Every time it's less. Yeah. We try not to indulge in the cynicisms over the state of the nations, nor do we carry the world's troubles on our shoulders. That's probably my biggest problem. That's probably one that I do more. I tend to take on more than I should. There's a lot of help needed. There's a lot of help needed in Colorado. Colorado sucks. It sucks, and I don't even want it to suck. All right. Shell says, your perspective has changed, hence your view of family. Congratulations. Yeah. There's only one way to do it. It's not like it was a huge change. All right. But it was a start. So I tend to take the problems of Colorado and my community on probably a little too much. Right. Been slowly backing out of that over the last year. All right. At the same time, if nobody speaks up, no change will ever happen. And, oh. All right. When we see a man sinking into the mire that is alcoholism, we give him first aid and place what we have at his disposal. For his sake, we do recount and almost relive the horrors of our past. But those who have had tried to shoulder the entire burden and trouble of others will others find we are soon overcome by them. That's why I have to watch out, or I will be overcome by them. And there was advice given to me when I first became a drug and alcohol counselor, and the advice was never work harder than the client, ever. Right? Just never work harder than the client. Huh? So we think cheerfulness and laughter make for usefulness. Outsiders are sometimes shocked when we burst into merriment over a seemingly tragic experience out of the past, but why shouldn't we laugh? We have recovered and been given the power to help others. That's every reason to laugh. That's every reason to have a smile on my face. It is probably just about the biggest thing in my life. I couldn't be, I wasn't even trusted with my own shit. Now, God wants me to help him save his children. It's a pretty big fucking deal, man. So we think cheerfulness and laughter make for usefulness. I already read all that. Everybody knows that those in bad health and those who seldom play do not laugh much. And that's what I've been doing more, is playing more. Yeah, I've been playing more. Part of my playing is watching my grandkids play. Sometimes I get to just sit back and watch them be happy. It's pretty cool. And I don't need alcohol to do it either. So let each family play together or separately as much as their circumstances warrant. We are sure that God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. I absolutely believe that. We cannot subscribe to the belief that this life is a vale of tears, though it was once for just many of us. But it is clear that we made our own misery. God didn't do it. Avoid then the deliberate manufacture of misery. But if trouble comes, cheerfully capitalize it as an opportunity to demonstrate his omnipotence. All right. We're given new tools to be able to work on things. And that's where the enthusiasm of the program starts to come in. All right. So, all right, that's going to be it for this trudging daily trudge. Today's my day off. So if you're wondering why I don't have my brain, it's because I'm just not going to use it today. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great, sober Monday. I hope that today you get to see God working in other people's lives. Let's look for the beauty in everything that we can today. It's a good day to do it. Okay? It's so easy to get caught up in the bad things. It takes a little bit more effort to focus on the beauty in the world. But that effort is worth it. Faith without works is dead. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And